Okay. All right, does anybody know what the name of this place is?
That's Africa. I know that.
That's right, that's Africa. But did you know that Africa is the place where the body of the first man was found? My daddy says that makes it the place where all people originated from. That means everybody's really from Africa. Everybody. All y'all. Everybody.
I ain't from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia.
Like it or not, you're from Africa.
I'm from Africa. You from Africa. You African booty scratcher.
I didn't figure that.
What do you think, Morgan? Is this political correctness gone too far?
Yeah. I mean, we have a tendency to do that anyway. I mean, you get politically correct. Stuff happens that you don't want to happen. I all of a sudden became an African. Political correctness, African American. I'm not African. I'm an American. I'm not African. I'm an American.
I'm an American. Yeah. I'm not an African American. I'm not a chick American. I'm an American. I'm an American.
I'm tired of being labeled. I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American. My roots are in Louisiana. I'm an American.
So I want you to say what you really mean by that.
What I really mean by that is I'm an American. That's what I really mean.
Americans now, that's what we're talking about.
I love America. I love this country. I fought for this country in the '96 Olympic Games. And I'm gonna be the first one to tell. I'll be the first one to tell anybody. I'm not an African American. I'm an American. So when the Europeans came to the Native Americans, well, they like to call them Native Americans, but the Indians' land. We don't call them European Americans. So I don't want to be called an African American. I'm an American. You know what I'm saying? You can call me a black American, but I'm an American.
So if America,
you know, when I went,
August
I want to say this.
Go ahead.
When I competed in the Olympics, they didn't say fighting an African American. They said that American that's fighting out of the red corner or out the blue corner.
So you're an American?
Absolutely.
Bleed in
You are
red,
too.
white, and blue. Of course I am.
Absolutely.
Of course I am proud of it. But here's the deal.
But one thing about me, I don't forget where I come from.
I'm connected to a tribe. I'm from a tribe, not a country. It's a big difference. Different laws, different everything. Like, big difference. I'm talking for the natives.
Yeah.
I like when
it comes to talking about African Americans, I have no education with that. Period. I don't. I'm not even connecting to that no more because that's a system. That's like connecting. Say, hey, he's a bad guy. You don't hang with him. Oh, hey, I'm gonna find out for myself. Not African American at all. My folks is not from Africa, and a lot of people in this room, folks ain't from Africa. Might be a couple, but people just don't understand. I asked my grandma, like, yo, grandma, what's your background? She like, Redfoot and Blacktail Indian. What? Yeah, my mother and my father did. We 100% Indians. Ask my other grandma, we got Cherokee in us, and European and Italian, a little Dominican. It's crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why I'm African. Y'all look at me funny, like, nigga, I'm African. Like, you're not though. Like, you're not. 80% of slaves was already here. It was natives. It's crazy.
80. Where you get that number from?
Shit, I just checked the books.
Which book?
Yeah.
I got a whole laptop full of this shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, just for me reading. It's not a solid book like, hey, there's only 1,000 slaves came here. And nah, nigga, you got to read. You have to literally read. Like, I'm so deep into it, I don't think about a slave ship. I think about, what was a slave ship called? Jesus. What the fuck was a slave ship called that Christopher Columbus was on? Who funded that slave ship? Who paid for that boat? Like, what was these folks' race? Like, what was their background?
Mike, you want to continue?
So, Walker, that's interesting. So,
why? It's like a why. It's not like I'm chastising. It's like, why?
No, that's interesting because when it comes to, you're addressing identity, right?
So you're familiar with that boat, right?
I'm not familiar with the boat exactly that you're referencing, but I am.
The slave boat, the first slave boat.
Oh, yeah, the slave boat. Yeah, for sure.
So who paid for the slave boat?
That was from the Europeans in terms of
what
the
was
colonization.
their ethnicity? What was their ethnicity?
There was Germans. There was individuals.
What was their ethnicity that paid for that boat? That built that boat and that voiced that boat and
who are the people
directions?
who built the boat or who paid for the boat to be built?
It's in the books. It's just it's in the books. I'm not going to say shit because
we got to specify which boat.
Yeah,
and from
the
which
boat
part of the
country Columbus was on. The boat that y'all celebrated
look it
Columbus
up.
Day.
It's called Jesus of Lubeck.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought Obama was an African American. And white people, I know y'all think all black people the same.
African people don't like black people. Y'all know they treat us like shit. They talk down to us. They think they better than us. And I don't understand, because we from the same tribe, kind of. But they like white people, though. They treat y'all like family. As soon as y'all come around, they get excited. Excuse me, Mr. White Man, thank you for bringing us here. We love you. Yeah, the white man. As soon as they see us, they get an attitude. Hey, how you doing? This nigga. We don't like the black man in America. Motherfucker, you don't work, you don't do shit. We don't like you, you black motherfucker.
White people, when y'all get mad at us, please stop saying this shit. Why don't you go back to Africa? What? How the fuck we gonna go back to some shit we ain't never been to? Because some of them Africans do not like us. Black Americans, they can't stand us.
Because however much America strays away from the ideals of justice, the goal of America is freedom. Abused and scorned though we may be, our destiny is tied up in the destiny of America. Before the Pilgrim Fathers landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before Jefferson etched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here. Before the beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner were written, we were here.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us.
You know, when we look at, so I'm like you guys, I celebrate American history, which is our history, every month out the year. And I hope that for parents and kids that go home, now we have the internet, now we have tools at our hand. And no, you aren't being taught Black American history in schools, but now we can still go out and find that history. It's not like when we grew up and maybe it was buried someplace in the encyclopedia. All you gotta do is go type in some words and you can get it right now and understand where you've come from and how special you are.
Can I just end with this one thing? These four brothers sitting here, we didn't all come from Africa. And there was there was a country before 1492, and our history goes way beyond 1492. So you can't start us at 1492. We were always here. We were